The nays carry this time. So, so, it, so let me just say a few things before we go, or I'll just ask one question. I'm going to wrap up here. Um, do people have some comments or questions or anything they want to say, or we skip that? All right. I mean, no, but if there, because now we're going to be finished, we go for dinner, and we've had a good day and a half. So no comments from anybody? Anybody want to say anything? The, the nays have it. Okay. All right. So just a few things that come to mind here when we talk about this. I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. I'm very, very, very happy as private sector here to be here with all of you honorable women and men, to have had such an engaging discussion today that is very forthright, direct, to the point, and I think it's the kind of conversations that are going to make a very big difference to Kenya. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So just a couple of things that come from... Is there anything else to say? All right, but coffees have it. But no, I'll just say a few things that came from my notes here. I think one of the big comments was around leadership, in particular around this Big Four. And a comment was made earlier today about Buy Kenya, Build Kenya, and it's really up to the politicians and the leaders to transform the spirit of the country. You're very close to your people, you are the leaders, and how we go about our attitude every day is going to be very important, and we leave it in your good hands. I think there's some economic challenges that came up that are holding us back. The word monopoly came up a few times. That's something that needs to get looked at. I think as we try to compete against imports and as we try to compete against other people's own manufacturing by exporting into their countries, there was a concept of standards that came up. So we need to set a high standard and we need to meet it, or let's say an appropriate standard, because in some cases people may want a different level of quality. I think there's some challenges around taxation, how to do business. We really need to resolve how to do business across counties. And there's the county tax and appropriation bill that's being considered. But if we're not careful about that, we may lose sight of what we're trying to do as a country. There was a lot of discussion about innovation. I heard it a few times about creating local incubators, whether it's centralized or in the counties. We need to push that point as well. You know, it's very difficult for the artisans, it's very difficult for the juakalis, it's very difficult for the smaller manufacturers to achieve the level of production and performance and quality that is required. So I think the point about the karais, how we were banging them, or one guy's banging them, one to put out one per day, you could use a shared machine. I think we need to look at shared facilities in almost every area of focus, how you can bring people around and they can at least start with more of a co-op kind of SACCO mentality when they're starting a business and driving it to grow. I think the point about social impact should not be ignored. We must be a green country, we must be environmentally sound, and we must be respectful of the environment. As I flew on Kenya Airways this morning, just to stir my 1 cup of coffee with a little bit of milk, I was given a full plastic spoon. And I asked the flight attendant, what is going to happen to this spoon? And she says, we'll throw it, of course. So where's that getting thrown? Why do we need that? Why can't we pay somebody somewhere to fashion a little stick, right? That's all you need, just to go brrr. But now that plastic spoon will be there when my grandchildren are going past that dump site. So I think one of the major topics that kept coming up, and that's fundamentally underneath everything, is land, 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 land. And Honorable Dr. Nyamai talked a lot about how we need to sort out land, and technology will play a big role in that. So many topics that we covered. I think if we're going to drive productivity, like every country in the world, for you to actually improve and go to the next level, it's all about doing the same amount of time in the same amount of day, but getting more for it. So it's embracing technology. There are lots of pitfalls in doing it, but I think the committee is very able, and the people who are technologists in the group here are willing to help. So with that, let me say again, Asanteni. There's free whiskey, somebody was talking about. Where is he? But there's at least dinner, so we can start with that. But thank you very much, and have a good dinner. Thank you.